What's up, everyone? I'm James Bainey, and today I'm going to be talking about a very special book that I got from Insight Editions. They sent it over and they wanted me to check it out, and I'm so glad they did. Thank you guys for sending over this book. Today, I'm going to be looking at Chronicles of the Jedi. This book is really awesome, and I'm going to tell you why. The first reason that I think this book is awesome is the artwork. I'm telling you multiple times to this book, as you flip through the pages, there's so many good illustrations of the characters, of the situations, of the locations, everything. It's all here, including multiple full-page illustrations, sometimes even dual-page illustrations like this, that are just fantastic, amazing, beautiful, and really gives you a wonderful sense of what's going on at that exact moment that the book is describing. What's the feeling within the Jedi? What's the feeling within the enemy that they're going up against? The conflict, it's so good. The illustrations really bring what they're talking about to life. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this. This is amazing. The second thing I love about this book is how they've taken so many of the stories and characters from the High Republic and condensed it down so that it's easily digestible. In some cases, they take entire books that say, this is what happened on this planet at this time, kind of thing. And they condense it to just 3 or 4 paragraphs that you can kind of read through and go, oh, I remember that book. Or if it's kind of filling in the gaps because you missed specific details or specific books, comics, whatever it is, it sort of just gives you this like a little bridge that says like, oh, and while you were gone or while you missed this thing, this is kind of what was happening and this is the story as it unfolded. It makes it simple to understand each one of the books and stories and conflicts and all the things that were happening within the High Republic. And this isn't just for the stories, this is also for the characters, because we all know there's so many characters in the High Republic. This book will give you a name of a character and a short little description that sometimes even tells you a little bit about that character to the degree of maybe they're a Jedi Master and what they specialized in, or how long they've been a master at the highest level, or whatever it is that is kind of special or unique to that character. You kind of can understand a little bit more about them and their purpose right now in that point of the stories. The third thing I like about this book is how it's cataloged. Every chapter is going to start you off with something like the Republic expansion, and it's going to kind of give you this idea of what was happening at that short segment of time. But the best part about it is that it's all chronological. As you move from chapter to chapter to chapter, you're moving through the stories of the High Republic as they were released. It started with this, and this is kind of where we began as far as the Jedi and how they've been in power and what they've been doing at this time. And then it moves into other things that involve, say, like the Great Disaster, and then it moves into the destruction of Starlight and all this by the end of the book. It sort of takes you through the journey and has sort of condensed it down not only into eras within that, but also giving us the steps of each one of the books and each one of the stories within that smaller section of the phase, if that makes sense. Now, I wouldn't say it's a true timelines book, but what I would say is that it's an amazing reference for anybody who is maybe starting into the High Republic and not worried about reading every little story, or maybe somebody who has read every one of the stories and just needs that to kind of walk them through what they remember from those stories. Oh, right, and then that one was the one that came next. Okay, cool. This really helps puts that all into perspective, and you don't have to get out a spreadsheet or something that tells you like the order of the books, and then it's all confusing. This book will handle all that for you. It's one piece of reference material that you're going to always be glad you had. Guys, if you think this is the book for you, you got to check it out from Insight Editions. I put links in the description if you guys want to go pick it up, but I think it's one of my favorite reference books, maybe only second to some of the visual dictionaries for the movies. But as far as High Republic goes, there's so much content in there that it's so hard to keep track of. I'm going to be using this book a lot as a reference point for me to kind of understand the characters, the stories, what was going on at the time, and help me give a little bit of context to so much of the other stuff that's probably going to continue on in that particular era. I think it's a good buy. You guys should check it out. Hope you enjoyed the review.